Antonio Conte doing such a good job for Chelsea. In six of the last 7 seasons, gentlemen, the team top at Christmas has ended up going on to win the league. The exception was Liverpool that year. They came very close. So with Chelsea guaranteed to be top at Christmas, already 6 points clear, are we looking at a done deal?
It's feeling like it, isn't it? I mean, this 10-game winning stretch where they outscored opponents 24-2, they look absolutely irresistible. I don't think it's a foregone conclusion when you look at the fact that this is the same Chelsea team, even though they've changed formation, that lost 3-0 to Arsenal. It's almost the identical team that was 16th at this point last season. And that's not to take away from a couple of the players I mentioned during the lineups that have come in and done a great job. I just wonder if the frail mentality that Antonio Conte has done so good to make his first priority and arrest the slide of the difficulties of lapses in concentration and effort, will there be a relapse in that? I mean, will we see it rear its ugly head again? I also look at the fact that when Leicester were top last year and went on to win, we looked at the fact that there were no powerhouses. There were no of those other title contenders that were really performing well. Now I look around them and I see an Arsenal team that's better than they've been in years before, true title contenders this year. Liverpool are better than they were last year, even with the defensive issues. Manchester City hasn't peaked yet. You have to figure they're going to be there. But also, titles are won by beating the teams that aren't around you. And I look down the table. I mean, West Brom are playing Manchester United today, and that's 6th versus 7th. Burnley beat Liverpool 2-0 this year. Their last six-pointer, title race six-pointer, is against Manchester City at the beginning of April. After that, they're going to have to face a lot of these teams that have a lot to play for. So I have a feeling this is going to be a very dramatic win. If they can pull it out, it will be one of the best title wins that we'll see.
What are your thoughts?
I think they're incredibly strong. I think they've got a manager that is jumping around literally on the sideline to keep making sure they're not going to get complacent in any way, keep them on their toes. The motivation has been strong from day one. I see a team not full, but almost full of champions. From 2 years ago, Chelsea's win, and N'Golo Kante has been added, of course, won the championship with Leicester last season. So I think when you add in the durability of the team and the coach's tactics, that they can win in different ways. They can be expansive and find ways to break you down. They can be incredibly strong defensively as well. They can fight you. Whatever game that is, they can find a way to win. So it's really hard, actually. I think that I think teams over a period of a season will find ways of giving them more problems. I think West Brom's game last weekend was really difficult, actually, for Chelsea. They man-marked, I think it was Pedro and Hazard. Yeah, and that made it really hard. And, of course, injuries. Diego Costa, that is something that could derail them. I mean, Hazard, of course, as well. I mean, Pedro and Willian, there's other players that can come in there, but I think Diego Costa, Rebecca, if they lost him for a period of time, they might start losing.
Batshuayi hasn't really shown that he can be replaceable for him yet.
Not yet.
Who's their biggest challenger?
I think Manchester City, when they get it right, yeah.
Yeah, I do. And as I said, they haven't peaked yet. I mean, this will be an interesting weekend for Pep Guardiola. We'll see what he can do.